Hey guys, welcome back to Erlengrat for our Let's Play series with AF Farms. So, carrying on from yesterday, we finished fermenting our silos. I'm just going to run over here quickly and I'll show you what we're up to. So I've already opened the bunker. As you can see, the silage is just here. So we've got that to 100%. We've got some grass that looks like it's ready to be cut. Cows need some food, and I believe we've got some new used vehicle options. So we've got the tank dolly, so the same one we purchased the other day. I mean, pretty unlucky to get that 2 days in a row, but that's life. And this one here, we've got a seed treater. So I think this is a conveyor for a... might be a silo or loading, some sort of loading apparatus. Not quite sure. Anyway, let's get stuck into some jobs. So, ready to harvest. So what we're going to do is we're probably going to get some hay underway today. And we're going to look to sell probably some of this silage. So I'll get the worker started here. So we'll check the price of silage. Now hopefully this worker will take off. We'll see, nothing's happening so far. So let's try this again. Could potentially be because there's a row of hay there. So it's getting a bit tripped up on the grass that's already on the field. So that's okay, we're just doubling up the cut grass, that's fine. Okay, so alright, next job is let's check the... Actually, let's go and feed the cows, so let's disconnect this one. Go and grab our loading wagon. Forage wagon, if you will. Now this is full of grass, I'm pretty sure. Oop, don't run into the windrower. So the plan is we'll cut that grass, we'll tedder it, turn it into hay, then we'll windrow it, and then we'll stockpile it over at our little, so you can sort of see it just out the door there, little concrete pad. That's where we're kind of housing the cut hay for the moment. So we want to try and build that back up because it is getting a bit low. So we're sitting on 20,000 litres of milk, 30,000 of slurry. So we could go and sell another load of slurry. The other thing I want to try and do is, yeah, look at selling some of that silage. So let's have a look and see what silage is worth to us at the moment. So we're in the prices menu. Silage is $4.57 to $4.77. So that's actually not a bad price, to be fair. It's got a peak of $5.70 in December. So we could wait until then to sell a few loads. So we will keep an eye on that. While we are waiting for the grass to be cut, I am going to do another run of slurry. Just because every little bit counts at the moment for our finances. So I think the plan will be, because we're not really situated to take advantage of the silage for total mixed ration as yet. I think what we'll do is we'll try and sell as much of that as we can to basically boost our profits. So I'm going to take about 30,000 litres here. Actually, you know what, I'm just going to fill this up. So I'm pretty sure the BGA will only take 30,000, but just keep this thing full while we can. We'll just get out on the fence here. But yeah, the animal dealer seems to be paying the best price for silage at the moment, so it looked like there was only probably, yeah, almost $100 in it, so could be worthwhile waiting. I do have to wait nearly 6 months though, so I don't know if I want to wait that long. I think I'll just sell now, just to get some cash up. and see how much we can actually get for that sort of 250,000 litres of silage. So it's going to be a few trips back and forth, which is fine. The only other challenge that I'll have is probably picking it up with the loading wagon, because that does get a little bit problematic with the pickup. Obviously it's not designed to drive over things on heaps. It's more for driving, well, it's not for driving in a silage pit, put it that way. Let's do a bit of in-cab driving actually. Make sure I don't hit any poles. Oop. Yeah, so you can tell with the analog sticks is a little bit touchy at times. The steering wheel would be ideal here, so we will look to get one of those eventually. So if you're using a steering wheel for the game, I'd be interested to find out what sort of steering wheel you're using, what setup you have, how you find it. Particularly if anyone's using the heavy equipment bundle, so the Logitech heavy equipment setup specifically for Farm Sim, and the side panel, the heavy equipment side panel also. I've sort of heard mixed reviews about it, so I'd be interested to see who's using it and what they think. I've seen a few videos on it, but it's not until you... Well, it didn't take any of it. Okay, that's interesting. So does it give me any sort of indication of how much? So that didn't take any of it. It took like... Start overloading. Yeah, okay, so that's going to be a bit of a pointless exercise. So it may take several days for that slurry to actually take effect with anything. So basically the slurry is... Sorry buddy, watch out. Oop, he just disappeared, where'd he go? Yeah, that slurry is really just only useful for fertilising fields, eh? In my opinion. So this slurry tanker is pretty well redundant. I'm not going to drive to the BGA every day just to drop off $200 worth of slurry. It's absolutely pointless. Nonetheless, at least we know that now, so we can focus on other things. So the other thing I'm toying with is the straw and wheat production. So obviously we need straw for TMR. I don't want to have to buy it, but it's going to be far more cost effective than getting a harvester, a seeder, going through all that expense. The other option is we look to get some chickens, so we can take the wheat from the harvest, retain the straw, feed the wheat to the chickens, and then we can get eggs as well. So that gives us another income stream on top of the milk. And I would say slurry as an income, but it's appearing that slurry's not going to really cut it. So we've only really got milk, silage, and grass and hay at the moment. And I think silage is probably the most lucrative out of those. Wow, this traffic today is a bit out of control. Clearly that guy didn't give way or yield, as they might in the Americas. So if you are from the States, correct me if I'm wrong, but give way is the same sort of thing as yield. When you're in your traffic rules. Alright, let's park this trailer up. Let's see if we can dump this slurry actually, because I think I'm going to turf this slurry tanker. We can't overload, can we? Yeah, great. Can only fill it. Yeah, let's just leave that there. Okay. So I need to get rid of this grass, so what I will probably do is it's 2,000. So I think what I'll do is I'll just dump this grass in the cut grass. And then when we come through to windrow it, it'll be hopefully not too big of an issue. So the plan is there, the windrow will even out that pile for us. And we are going to load up some silage and see if we can't make $1 at the animal dealer. Now, it might just be a case that the BGA will only take a limited amount of silage per day, as well as slurry, so let's turn that pickup on. See how we go here. This is probably going to be disastrous, but... Okay, it seems to be picking it up. Really need to unblanket this silo a bit more. So you're going to only open it up a little bit at a time as well, which is a bit annoying, but okay, let's lift that pickup up. We'll go around the other side. Really, the way you would do this is with a front loader and a bucket, or it could be any other number of tools that you might use. There's a couple of mods that would sort of, I forget what they had one in FS19, I can't remember the name of it, but it was basically like a snowplow, snowblower sort of situation that basically ate the pile as it moved. Alright, can we unblanket some more of this silo? No, we cannot. Might not work if I'm sitting on top of it, so let's lift that pick up. So the other thing too is I don't want to go and buy a you can't feed the silage directly to the cows, can you? Yeah, you can't put it directly in. Alright, let's see if we can't pick up some more of this. This is not really ideal for loading technique, so let's turn the pickup on. The last thing we want to do here is get stuck. Let's raise the pickup there. Yeah, this is not going to work at all. So I think the problem is you've got to pick up the silage off the sides here for it to actually trigger the removal of the blanket, because it only goes a piece at a time. Okay, anyway, let's try and sell what we got on board, and we'll come up with a bit of a better solution for how we're going to move forward and sell this. So let's go back to our map. We want to find the animal dealer, which is over here, I'm pretty sure. Yep. So let's select it, tag place, and that should be up over to our left. Yes, it is. So So it shouldn't be too far away. Let's go and see what we get for this load. And hopefully we don't destroy half of Erlengrat on the way there, or at least its signs anyway. So I think the best way to probably pick up that silage is going to be to either get a telehandler with a bucket, or to get a... Oh, I really want to have a look and see if they've got those sort of snow blowery type mods, because then it just picks it up and dumps it straight into a trailer, so you can drive into the pile with a 3-point hitch on the front of your vehicle, on your tractor with a PTO, and it will basically cut into the silage and deliver it into the trailer straight away, so you don't have to double handle it. And it's also just that little bit quicker in terms of loading. So let's see what happens. Alright, let's find the entrance. So just here. So I'm pretty sure we should just be able to... It might be around the back actually. Yeah, so it's around the back. So I think that's the trigger area for when you are purchasing. So hopefully we could fit. I do remember this from my FS19 playthrough of this. This was a bit of a tight spot to get in and out of. Okay, can we overload? Please, yes. Okay, 9,000, so that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this guy to drive back automatically for us. And I'm going to switch over to the mower. We'll go and hook up the windrower and get this grass. No, we are going to ted it first, actually. I keep forgetting to... keep forgetting the need to tedder the grass to turn it into hay. So let's go grab the tedder, which is over here. Now we got a roller, I think last episode or the episode before, so that's going to help to improve our grass yield. So we rolled field 19. I don't think we rolled field 18. I think we may have jumped the gun on that, so... Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this headland row first, because I'm going to tackle this big pile we left, just to make sure it's all sorted. Okay, so lower the tedder, turn on the tedder. Okay, so that should be, yep, creating hay for us. Yeah, I love that animation, eh? Look at that. So what I might do is I might do 2 runs here, just so I can get over that pile manually. And also this little bit of a windrow that we've left over that's sticking out on the right here, because I don't want to have an issue where I can't pick up a portion of the grass because it gets intercommingled with hay. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, so all it's done is it turned into a big pile of hay. So I'll get the worker back underway. Hopefully our JCB is on track. Okay, stuck on the bridge for some reason. Anyway, Okay, I'll get this guy underway and then we'll get the JCB back. I'll just drive it back manually. Now because this field is an odd shape, hopefully the worker's not going to have any issue. So what I might be able to do actually is get a front load attachment for the JCB. So I've got a what do you call it? The quickie or the Hoyer front load attachment. So I don't obviously have the front load arm and bucket, but I've got the attacher. So what we'll do is we'll just go and, because I think they're quite inexpensive to get a bucket and front loader. And this field's pretty cool, eh? I like the roads. It's kind of central to the town area too, which is pretty cool. So I could basically just pick up the silage from the corners of the bunker that are preventing the blanket from opening any further. Whoop. Get a bit out of shape there. So let's just drop this off. And hopefully we'll be able to either manually load it into the loading wagon, Alright, let's get into the shop there. Okay, so what I'm looking for is... So let's have a look at miscellaneous. It's probably going to be none of these, to be honest. So this is just for snow. Animals. Animal transport. So where's the animal feed? Oh, I can't even remember where the TMR mix is basically put. Silo compaction? No, it wouldn't be silo compaction. Front loaders, animals, animal transport. Yeah, so it's only basically... They used to have a vehicle that you could drive up into the silage pit and it would scrape the wall, but it's no longer... Doesn't look like it's any... Oh, unless it's in vehicles actually. That would make more sense. Yeah, here it is. So this is what I was thinking of. So this is a TMR mixer. So of course they've got them. Not a trailer. Milk truck, that'd be handy, but we don't have money for that at the moment. Yeah, so one of these here, so that'll pick the silage up, no problem. Alright, let's check out what... I don't even remember what front loader we've got on this, to be honest. Surely it would tell you somewhere. So that shows our garage, yeah. Maybe if we drive it into the workshop trigger and then I'll go into the workshop menu and attempt to modify it. Customize. Yeah, so I've got the quickie. So I've got the quickie attachment. So what we want to do is we come to front loaders, we want to find the quickie attachment that suits our horsepower requirement, which that's 140 horsepower. Oh, we could probably go the Hayer actually. Oh, let's just go that one because that's what we've already got. Okay, so we're gonna lease this one. And then we want to get a front load bucket, so we'll just get the universal bucket, I think. Or potentially a silage fork. Let's have a look. So that's for manure. Still do 1,000 litres. See if there's any other. Yeah, I think we'll just get the universal bucket because then we can use it for a number of other things. So I'm just going to buy that because it's only 1,600. Alright, let's go and hook these up. See if we can't shift a little bit more of that silage. So this should connect. Now hopefully we don't need a rear weight for this. We shouldn't do. Whoops, sorry buddy. Don't let me loose in your town in a tractor, let me tell you. Could be very unfortunate. Alright, let's see if we can't get some of this silage to shift from... Okay, so of course it's picked up the chaff, which is what we don't want. So that is probably a bit of a stuff up from earlier when we... Yeah, there we go. See now that's opened it up. Ah, excellent. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to leave this connected to the front because I don't really have a need to take it off. Let's switch back to the front. Just give us a bit of clearance there. Now we should be able to get a full load here, to be honest. So let's see if we can't back this thing right in. And lower the pickup, turn the wagon on. We're probably going to get stuck, aren't we? Let's see if we can't rescue ourselves here. Okay, physics are going to go a bit crazy here in a second. Okay, so I'm thinking that that's probably not a wise idea. Let's see if we can drive it up the other way. Okay, what if it... Oh, that's the angle of the pickup. So what did I change before? Oh, it was that front. Okay, so let's make sure we turn on the loading wagon. And I want to try and drive up and over this pile and hopefully not create a disaster for ourselves. Okay, please, please, please. Okay, so far so good. Okay, let's switch back to the front load attachment. This is obviously not a... This is not an ideal way to do any of this. It's just a little bit jammed. So a much more efficient way would be to fill this manually. Okay, let's turn the wagon off. Okay, raise pickup. Alright, let's go and sell this. Let's see what we end up with. Pretty mean looking front loader, really, isn't it? I mean, it looks like it's a serious bit of kit. Right, let's focus on driving and not crashing and losing this load of silage, because that would be very, very bad. Oop. Okay. Got a feeling that pickup is too low. See if I can pick it up actually. Okay, turn off loading wagon. Okay, let's get these wheels. So I've lifted up the wheels. There we go. That's probably a little bit better. Yeah, I think that pickup was still a bit low because I was sort of messing around with the position before unintentionally, and it sort of ruined the clearance. So fingers crossed this will be alright. So a full load of silage, I reckon that'll probably get us... What did we get last time? We got 9 grand for about 9,000 litres. So we might get 40 to 50 grand here. Alright, here we are at the sell point, so let's see what we get. I forget what we started with, but I think it was in the 80s. So 20 grand, so I was not even close in my estimate. So still not bad. So that was for 40,000 litres, so we've probably got 200,000 litres remaining. So if we get 20,000 per load, say we've got 10 loads there, there's probably 200 grand in that pile. So that's promising actually. So let's see how we go. It's So let's see how we go. We're going to sell the remainder of this pile, and we'll come back to the next episode and see what we end up with. So we'll leave this episode here, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the comments on the videos so far. I really appreciate the support. And I like hearing what the community has to say about how you guys are playing the game, what you're finding and learning. And then just getting that conversation going in the comment section, because I always learn something by reading those comments, and a lot of people, you know, pick up tips and things they didn't know from other people as well. So thanks again, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.